All right, so in this module, we're going to create a spreadsheet-based application that I call the File Manager. And this will basically allow us to automate any kind of process on a set of file or a large number of files. So in this particular example, we basically need to create department budget files for each department within the organization. We need to create those files, then update them with data, and do all these kinds of things in this process. So I have this template here. Basically, this is a template. I just downloaded this from the Microsoft template gallery, but basically this is a template here, and we need to create this for each department within the organization and update it with their actuals, their budget information, and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see here, I just kind of outlined the process, and this is kind of a common process that you might go through for corporate budgeting or a corporate budgeting process where you have to create all these Excel files, then populate them with data, distribute those to all the managers of the departments, possibly update the files with new data, consolidate, collect the files, issue new targets, redistribute, and do another iteration where you do the same process over again. So it can be a very painful and time-consuming task if you have to do this in Excel. And in this module, we're going to build this file manager application, which will allow us to do this all in an automated way using VBA. And I just really wanted to quickly point out that I created this workflow here, this process with this Smart Art graphic. So you can go to the Insert tab on the ribbon and choose Smart Art, and there's a bunch of different processes and types of graphics you can insert here to make this really easy. So if you want to outline your process before you start building it out, that's a quick way to do it. Okay, so the file manager application basically looks like this here, and this is what we're going to build out in this module. So basically you have a list of files here. You just start with a list of files that you want to create or update. In this case, we're going to create all these files for each department within the organization, and we're going to base it on that budget template I was just showing you. So all those files will be created. And then once we create those files, we also want to run actions on those files. So I call these actions. And these are basically macros or procedures that you can run on the file, on the open file or the file that you're creating. So the file manager application allows you to run any kind of action or macro on the open file or on the set of files. So basically you can think of this as a framework that you can use for any process. It doesn't necessarily have to be a budgeting process. Any group of files that you have that share similar characteristics, you can use to either create those files or open those files and update them with new data, make changes, modify those files, do just about anything you can think of to the files in an automated process using this application. So throughout this module, we're going to start by learning tables. This is an Excel table here. It's called a list object in VBA. And I'm going to start with the basics of how to reference the list objects and how to work with these list objects in VBA, because they're extremely useful when we're creating a spreadsheet-based application like that. So we're going to go into using those, and then we're going to slowly build out the file manager application step by step. So I hope you're excited about it. This application is one that I've used numerous times throughout my career, and it's really kind of helped me stand out because you're basically able to use this framework to automate a process on any number of files. So not only does it really streamline the process, but it also eliminates a lot of human error, because if you have to create hundreds of files or thousands of files even manually and then update those files, that becomes very boring and repetitive, and there's a lot of chance for error when you're doing something like that manually. So this process will really help you stand out. Your bosses and executives will love it. So enough talk, let's get started.